I like the shirt.
Yeah, man. This is a throwback now.
That is. That's from the original.
It's the new throwbacks.
That's it.
Yeah. So speaking of throwbacks, I've talked to a couple of people, but what's on the Chris Pratt Life mixtape? Give me a couple of songs that's just like on the Life mixtape, and it could change from time to time.
It does. It would change from time to time. Just this morning, I love being, because we're back in LA right now. I love being in LA because I get to drive my car, and in my car I have my old iPhone, which has a very limited mix of songs on it. And this morning, because oftentimes I talk about Chronic 2001, Dr. Dre Chronic 2001, and people ask me my favorite song, but the song The Watcher came on today, and I was listening to that, and I was like, why don't I ever talk about this song when people ask me? So I'm glad you asked me. So it's that, but also there was the White Stripes on there. There was the Highwaymen was on there. You know, I think, I had my workout mix playing, so I had the theme song from Karate Kid on there. I had, you know, you're the best around, nothing's gonna ever keep you down. So I had that.
That gets you pumped to work out.
I'm sorry, but it does, man. I feel all of a sudden I'm like Johnny, or I'm like, you know, Daniel-san in the Karate Kid, and you know, going through a training montage. So yeah, those would be some of the songs.
Your story, your origin story, is kind of amazing, because I mean, you always hear about people that worked as a waiter and they try to get discovered, but this literally kind of really happened for you. Like I mean, was this like strike of luck? Or was this really something that happens in Hollywood a lot? Is this?
You know, you hear from time to time stories of that happening and people being plucked from obscurity and their lives being forever changed by some twist of fate or divine intervention, whatever you believe. And that's what happened to me. That was my story, man. That's how it happened. Wow. I was just had completely submitted to the circumstances of my life, and was like I was already there. It was like I had already arrived where I was supposed to be, and I just got picked up, put down here, pat on the butt, move forward, and cut to some 16 years later, and here we are.
All right, first you flick this switch, then this switch. That activates it. Then you push this button, which will give you 5 minutes to get out of there. Now, whatever you do, don't push this button, because that will set off the bomb immediately and we'll all be dead. Now, repeat back what I just said.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I am Groot.
That's right.
I am Groot.
No! No, that's the button that will kill everyone. Try again.
I am Groot.
Mm-hmm.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I'm Groot.
No, that's exactly what you just said. How's that even possible? Which button is the button you're supposed to push? Point to it. No!
Hey, you're making him nervous!
Shut up and give me some tape. Does anybody have any tape out there? I want to put some tape over the death button.
Yeah. Playing these characters when you're in these universes and you have like this chronological order of stories that where you're going to appear in a future story. I mean, does it ever become hard when do you ever become unfocused on just the project that you're on so that you can focus on like the whole universe storyline that's going on? Like,
with Marvel movies?
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that's the reason I believe, one of the many, many reasons why Marvel has been able to continue being a prolific hit maker is because of how controlled they are with creating movies that all exist under the same umbrella. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, Kevin Feige and the guys at Marvel are in charge of that. And so I don't ever really have to, I just put my trust in them, and if I have a question, which oftentimes I do, they always have an answer for it. So everything is calculated and thought out in that way. And you know, they make some shifts on the fly based on whether something works or something doesn't work. And they have this thing plotted out for decades, you know what I mean? And they really know their stuff. And so I think that's been the common denominator in why the entire universe of Marvel Cinematic Universe has worked so well. But I think that, like, you know, obviously the common denominator with the Guardians of the Galaxy is James Gunn. And he's the writer, the director, he's the auteur, he's now doing volume 3, which is so exciting. And you know, it's his imagination and his ability to kind of bring these things to the screen in his way with his voice, and Marvel's trust in him that's why the first one works so well, why the second one works so well, why the third one will, work as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but man, great seeing you on screen
Thanks, dude.
always, man.